Hi everybody, Driving with Dane here, coming to you with another quick video, just kind of talking about how to drive a plug-in hybrid car. So this is one that'll be kind of familiar to you if you've looked at my channel before. This is a CX-90 Premium Plus plug-in hybrid. So this particular car doesn't have any charge, but we're gonna go ahead and make do with it. So first things first, we wanna go ahead and climb in the car, and very similar to my video I just did on how to drive a hybrid. So foot on the brake, push the power button. You're gonna hear the engine start, because as I mentioned, you can see the battery gauge over there is empty, and you're gonna see this green ready to drive notification over here. We'll let that quit dinging. Basically, Mazda's ding at you for a minute until you put your seatbelt on. Excuse me, first things first, what we're gonna look at is our battery gauge, fuel gauge over here, and make sure we have this green ready to drive notification. So because the hybrids don't always make noise when they do have some charge, you'll see this little green ready to drive notification over there. That tells you basically that you can change gears, the car's ready to go. So normally when you get into your plug-in hybrid car, this is what I recommend at the very least. You'll want to plug the car in the night before, either on a level 1 or level 2 plug-in in your house. I've made a video about how to charge these as well. But you want to go ahead and plug the car in, make sure the battery's charged. These have about 25 miles of battery range. This will actually adjust, you can take the 140 miles distance to empty on there. This will actually adjust based on your driving style. So if you see more or less than 25 miles, that is why. The next thing that's going to be a little bit different is when you go to drive, so you'll put the car into drive just like normal, and take off down the road. But normally when you have battery charge, you're going to want to kind of maximize your electricity range, because the gentler you drive, the less power you'll use, and basically you won't have to burn any gas if your commute is less than 25 miles day to day. So as far as differences from driving this to a normal plug-in hybrid, of course you have the green ready to drive notification, and you're going to plug this in the night before, or wherever you're at, but you're going to plug it in the night before typically, and make sure you have gas in it as well. Then you're going to want to go ahead and put it in drive. The car defaults to normal mode, which I'll show you here. You use this little toggle right there. Defaults to normal. You can put it in EV mode. It does have an off-road or a sport as well, but those don't really affect the batteries much as they do kind of steering and throttle pedal dynamics. Sport does keep the engine on constantly though. EV mode isn't currently available because there isn't any charge in the battery, and in this Mazda I have it in charge mode because I'm just sitting in here. Basically what charge mode does is kicks that little symbol on next to where it says charge down there by the green ready symbol. That is running the engine to charge the battery while I'm just sitting here making this video. So you do charge the engine, or you can charge the engine off the battery. It will reduce your fuel efficiency a little bit because of course there's a little more draw on the engine. But just something to be aware of. So when you're driving, you're going to want to basically kind of watch this gauge over here on the side. Most plug-in hybrids have some sort of a gauge, and you'll see kind of a bar that'll be on the outside that'll show how much power you can ask for without kicking the engine on. You're going to want to try and stay in that bar as much as you can to kind of maximize your electric range. So that means being easy on your throttle pedal down here. You're going to want to pull away slowly from stops if you can, and take your foot off the brake or off the gas and kind of coast to a stop when possible. That way you can get some regenerative braking. The battery can recover some power. When you're using the brakes, of course, if you have an emergency, you can always full stop. But if you're kind of smooth and gradual on it, that will also help recover power through using regenerative braking. It'll just kind of allow a longer period of time for the system to recover energy. All of which increases your driving range and lets you stay on battery longer and reduce your fuel consumption. So as you're driving, basically just you want to pull away slowly and brake gradually as well. Just kind of the smoother and slower you can do it, the better. If you drive and accelerate hard, the cars do have some pretty good get up and go, but you are going to chew through your battery range faster, and then that'll lead to you switching to the gas engine and burning more fuel as well. Plug-in hybrids are a little bit heavier than normal cars because they have the additional weight of the battery. So when you're on the engine itself, by itself, your fuel economy will probably still be a little bit better, but won't be quite as good as like a full hybrid. So those are the main differences of kind of how you want to go about driving a plug-in hybrid. The other big thing with these is the ideal use case is most people's driving is within the battery range that you can do day to day. So plug this in the night before, drive it to work or drive it to the store, whatever you got to do. Drive it just kind of like normal, just kind of pay a little extra attention. This will reward you if you drive kind of low and slow. And then once you get going, let's say you've got a long trip coming up, you got to drive a couple hours or something. Go ahead and still charge it up the night before. And then once you hit the road, again, kind of gradually accelerate onto the interstate. Go ahead and I always recommend taking advantage of cruise control, especially if it has adaptive cruise. Car is just a little more gradual, a little safer. You can focus on driving, just a little more convenient. But then you'll kind of use your battery range a little more quickly at highway speeds, and then the engine will kick on, which is totally fine. If you want to, on your way back or something, you can use the charge mode to recover some power while the engine's on anyway. But truthfully, I would tell you, don't worry about the plug-in hybrid side on the long trip. Just drive it like a normal gas car. When you get there, put gas in it, and then if you need to, and then when you drive back, and then just plug it in when you get back home. If you are staying in a hotel or something and they have a charge port, might be worth charging up if you're going to be driving around in town while you're there. But for the most part, plug-in hybrids, really, you only need to kind of change your driving habits in town to really maximize the battery range, and then just get used to plugging it in at night. Let me know if videos like this are helpful. Let me know if this kind of made sense. What else you guys want me to cover? As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and keep driving with Dane. Thanks for your time.